Greetings metalheads and welcome to the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and listening. So today you're going to be able to listen to a audio interview which was conducted back in 1990 with the band Blackfoot. This interview was done with Rickey Medlocke for the album Medicine Man. Now back in 1981 I actually saw this band live with their support act Samson. This was my first ever gig. Blackfoot were absolutely amazing. If you'd seen them back in the day, you'll know what I mean. Fantastic band. Even Samson were a really cool band live. So have a listen to this audio interview. Please share on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And thank you for watching and listening. Be safe, and there's going to be lots more interviews coming soon, so check them out. Cheers, metalheads. Thank you.
Is that Ricky?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Ricky, this is Jason.
Hi, Jason.
How you doing? Are you alright?
Good. I'm doing great.
Good. I've got something to tell you.
What's that?
Blackfoot was the very first band I ever saw live in my life.
You're kidding.
Nope. 10 years ago, I think it was. Hull.
Really?
Remember Hull?
Yeah, I remember it.
Samson.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yes,
the first band you ever saw live.
Yeah, so you can tell all the band.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Do you think you'll be coming back to Hull then?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You going to come back?
Probably. They're talking about us, coming back in February, to do a tour over here. So we'll see what happens.
Anyway, Rick, the first question is about the band's history. Could you tell me a small statement about the band's history?
Well, actually, there was the formation of it was in 1969.
Really?
And that was with Jackson and, Greg and Charlie and myself. We got together, that early. And, briefly had a couple albums out in the middle 70s, one in 75 and one in 76. And that was the No Reservations album was in 75 and the Flying High album in 76. And then we didn't have any more product out until 1979 when we had the Strikes album out.
Yeah.
That was on the Atlantic, on the Atco label. And so after that, we had a string of albums out, like a lot of albums. We had, Strikes and Tomcat and Marauder, and then we had the, the live album out after the Marauder album. Right, and then came Siago and Vertical Smiles, and then I had the solo record out, and then have waited for about 3 years before this record, the Medicine Man album, has come out now, and I'm back doing the more rootsy rock thing, and which I'm happy at doing. It's a lot of fun again, and so that's basically it.
You still have the same guitar, the Destroyer?
Yeah, although I don't use it on the road right now. I retired it for a while. I mean, there gets a point after a period of time where you have to kind of retire guitars,
Yeah.
And it was time for that one to be retired. And so that's what I did.
How many guitars do you have?
Oh, God. Too many to count.
Can you tell me about the old lineup? Are you still friends with the old lineup?
The old guys?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just saw Jackson and Charlie this past summer. I haven't seen Greg in years.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure what he's doing.
What's the other members doing now? Are they still playing?
Well, I understand that they're still gigging around, doing odd and end gigs and different things like that. So, I'm not quite sure, but they're still around.
Where did you find the new members? What bands were they from?
Well, actually, it started with Gunner, the drummer, and he was with a group called the Almighty Strut, and that was he was in Detroit, and I started talking to him, and we kind of started jamming together, and I told him my ideas about putting another hard rock band together. And so that's what happened with that. And then the next came Neil was in the band, and I had already been talking to Ricky Mayer before I talked to Neil. I had talked to Ricky Mayer, for a little over a year. Rickey Neil came into the thing before Rickey did.
Yeah.
And so Neil came into the band, and Rickey Mayer came into the band. And Rickey Mayer had played with a group called Diamond Rex.
I've heard of Diamond Rex.
And also he had played with a short while with Lizzie Borden.
Oh, yeah.
And Neil actually had played with just local bands around New Jersey and hadn't really, played with any known bands. And was turned on. I got turned on to him by a friend of mine who works at Megaforce Records.
Yeah.
And so that's basically how it all really came together, which has been about 2.5 years, going on 3 years now.
So why did you leave Attica Records?
Pardon?
Why did you leave Attica Records?
Well, we felt, first of all, record sales had declined, and we were having sort of a friction thing that was going on, and we just felt like we had been a part of each other and been company and had kept company with each other for so long that we felt it was maybe in the best interest for them and us that we got a part company, and that's actually what happened.
Yeah. So how did the deal with Music for Nations come around?
Well, it was interesting because they picked us up from another company, and actually, if it hadn't been really for Music for Nations, I don't know if this record would have ever gotten out. But they came through really well, and they're great people. I really like the people who work there, and they do really great. And so they now they've got the band, and we're happy there, and hopefully, we'll continue to stay there and see if we can't make progress.
Yeah, good luck. Really pleased with
Thanks.
all of them.
Thank you.
Right, the next question is, after your last release, did you think Blackfoot would be still carrying on? Do you think it could be the end?
Well, the thing is, I really believe that, it's, I own the name legally, and I really feel like, that, the essence of what Blackfoot was. I mean, I was the front man, and I was the voice of the band, and, singer, songwriter, guitarist, whatever. And I think a lot of the band was my attitude, too. And I really believe that as long as I'm around and as long as I'm alive, there's always going to be a Blackfoot. So.
Yeah. So what does Blackfoot actually mean? Is it just a person's foot, Blackfoot, or is it something else?
Do what now?
Does Blackfoot actually mean a black person, or is it something else, Blackfoot? What does it actually mean?
What does it mean? Well, actually, I think Blackfoot means, as far as a band goes, I think that it means good times. I think it means, it's definitely a statement as far as, what rock and roll, where I'm from, of what rock and roll to me is. I think it's more of a bluesier rock. It's got a lot of blues because I'm into the blues big time.
Yeah.
And I really believe that what it really, actually the old band, what it really meant to the old band was that, we tried to do something. We went against a lot of odds and we won.
Yeah.
And what that meant was that we succeeded in beating the odds. Now, we'll see if we do it again. They always say, once a name, always a threat. And so we'll see if that holds true.
Yeah. Did you do any demos for Music for Nations?
Demos?
Yeah.
No, we just had the record already cut for another label. And the other label was just kind of sitting on it, and Music for Nations said, hey, we like the album as is, we'll pick it up.
Yeah, are you on what label are you on in the States?
Well, what we're doing is we're doing an independent thing over there, too, as well, and it's working out really well because we got a new single out over in the States that's working real well. So, we're basically, in a reforming period, of starting over and stuff, so.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the single that you're doing at the moment?
Well, actually, the single that we're going to do over here, we haven't really decided yet. Over in the States, we got out, Doing My Job is out in the States. And a song that's not really on the album called Soldier Blue, which is working real well. So we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, right. Can you tell me a bit about the new release, where you recorded it?
I did most of it at Pearl Sound, where I did the solo thing, and I myself and Ben Gross produced the album, and it was done at Pearl Sound, and I mixed it, and I mixed it also at Pearl, and I did some of the mixes over here at Easy Studios here in London, and I happen to like coming over here and working.
Yeah.
I think the studios and stuff are really wonderful. And but most of the recordings were done there, at Pearl Sound in Michigan.
What other bands have actually recorded there, do you know? Or is it just...
Do I know?
Yeah, do you know what other bands recorded in the same studio as you did in America?
Has other bands recorded where I did?
Yeah. No, other bands did in the same studio as you. What bands?
Oh, what bands? Well, actually Jeff Beck has been in there, and he did some stuff there, and so did Alice Cooper and Ted Nugent, and different people like that.
Why the name of the album?
Huh?
Why the name of the album?
I figured, hey, I guess I am the medicine man, I reckon, in a strange sort of sense, and it seemed only appropriate. But I like the name of it. It's kind of cool, It's a cool thing.
Did you have any other names before choosing that one?
Well, we toyed with so many names, and finally just decided, hey, we've been carrying on this thing for quite a while. Let's just settle on it. And we just said, Medicine Man sounds like the right way to go, and it just hit us just the right way, so that we went with it.
So can you tell me what the songs are about?
Well, doing my job, like doing my job is about, people working like the working class people. And, the Steeler, we already know what the Steeler's about, Yeah. I mean, Sleazy World is more or less the political statement of the record.
Yeah.
While Not Gonna Cry Anymore is about old friendships and and old relationships. Running is your typical girl-boy type relationship thing. Whereas Chill to the Bone is the same thing. Same thing in relationship, and in Guitar Slinger is almost like a personal thing for me, a personal statement of what it's like, touring and traveling and being up on stage, and that's a guitar player's like song and dance, So.
Yeah. Would you class this as a mini album or a full album?
Well, what happened is that it was contracted to be a mini album.
Yeah.
And so politics between labels and ourselves got in the way, and so we ended up bringing it out only the 7 songs. So I guess you would say that it's almost like a mini LP.
Yeah. Oh, are you doing a promo video for this album?
Pardon now?
A promo video.
Oh yeah.
Which track?
Well, we've been toying with it. Probably Guitar Slinger, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And but we'll see what happens.
Have you any idea what you want in the video?
No, not yet. We got some ideas.
Right then, how long did it take for the record to be produced?
How long did it take to record it?
Yeah.
Well, we recorded it off and on over a period of about, probably a period of about 6 months, because we were in and out of the studio so much. We were on the road, and then we were recording, and then back on the road again. So.
Right. Since your last visit to the UK, how would you, what's the word? How would you compare it to the new tour you're doing now? How would you compare it?
How would I compare it with the old stuff?
Yeah, since you last came to England.
Well, I just think that it's back to its. I think it's back to its roots again. I think it's, but it's a heavier sounding album.
Yeah, true.
It's a heavier sounding rock record, but I think it's back to the roots now, and that's where I want to stay.
Yeah, I think it's got a dirty guitar sound. I like it.
It's great, ain't it?
Yeah. So, what's the crowd like in Europe? What reaction have you had? Because I understand you've been to Germany.
Yeah, we just finished a tour over there, and it was excellent. I mean, the crowd, the fans loved it.
Slum divers
and they just loved it. I mean, they were glad to see me back again over there and see the band back in action, and we had a great time. It was a great tour, and really looking forward to this gig, you know, and at the Marquee tomorrow night. From what I understand, it's already sold. It looks like it's going to be sold out. And so yeah, it's too bad you can't be there.
Yeah, it's a long distance from where.
Oh yeah.
So, who supported you in Europe?
Huh?
Who supported you in Europe?
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday.
Mm-hmm.
How did they go? Did you headline or did they headline?
We headlined.
You headlined.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
When are you doing the full UK tour?
Well, from what our agency over here is telling us, they want to have us back over in February to do England, France, and a couple more dates in Germany and Spain and Italy and Belgium and Holland.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's when we'll come back.
Who would you like to support you when you come back?
I'd really like to have the band Warp Drive that I've been working with for quite some time. They're a group that I've been producing.
Who's that, sorry?
Warp Drive.
They're Music for Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been producing them. In fact, I'm in the studio producing their new record right now, too.
Oh.
So as you can see, I'm quite busy.
What other bands have you produced in the past?
Well, I mean, other than the Blackfoot thing, just Warp Drive. I've started with them, and hopefully that's something I'll get into more, later on.
Mm-hmm. Have you anything to say to your fans, readers?
Yeah, I just really, I'm glad, to be back here, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, and it's good to be back playing again.